Dus geen voilà. Ik zal volgen. Als we naar de lunch gaan, dan ik weet niet hoe dat is. Ja, we zijn met twee op de shirt. Ja, voor de familie, die komt heel veel. Ik moest daar wachten, dat was de reden ook. Ja, wacht nu al. Het is daarvoor, ik had, weet ik wel. Informatie van haar en dan van jou, dan van Dries. Dus je blijft van haar. Dus ja, om het zeker te zijn. Ja, 2 uur wachten, ik zeg nee, ik moet in dat toilet en misschien naar het. Als je bent voorbereid, je weet het, soms is het zo.
I know, I saw
Et à tous les soirs, il y a un panneau qui affiche les horaires de concert. Ok.
Ja, ze draaien dus dingen zo.
Die geeft het wel sens.
Ik hier.
Ah oui, mais après.
Oui, mais discute pas.
Ah, vous voulez que je passe par là-bas?
Ou viens vite derrière la caméra. Oui.
aftermath and the Arab oil embargo and all the rest of this. That doesn't exist, that opportunity. It's understandable, therefore, that there is a focus more on the East. It's also South Asia, of course. It's India, another huge customer for that. So on the one hand, this is natural, it's normal, it's understandable. But, yeah, there's a concern about China's influence creeping into other areas as well.
Come on to Israel and Gaza now. If you heard this morning, I think the UK, France, and Canada all basically said to Israel, if you do more than you're doing at the moment in Gaza, we're going to sanction you. And that is an escalation from the West. I mean, Nabil, first, do you think that will have any effect?
I think it will, and I think it's not enough. Despite the successful visit that Trump had in the Arab Gulf, and again, it was a success. Every day since then, Israelis have killed 100 Palestinians at least. They actually started bombing while Trump was here. That's a message to the Americans as much as it is to the rest of the Arab world. But as an Arab, when we hear that, when we see that, ultimately, our anger increases even though we want to build. My country was the first to have a peace agreement with Israel. We want to build the Middle East, not destroy it. But it cannot be by one country being in complete violation of international law of any consequence. And let me add here, frankly, the successful visit here has raised the threshold by which Trump himself will be assessed in the Middle East. Because you succeeded in doing all of this, now are you going to deliver on the politics? I mean, the real amusing part of this visit, superficially, I look at it much more deeply. Superficially, people see the superpower looking for material gain and the regional powers looking for political gain. Yes. Now, it's more than that. But in essence, America has to deliver on not our interests, but on international order and law. And we are losing our morality, not only in the region, but globally. You cannot come and ask us to take positions based on law or morality elsewhere if you ignore it in our own region.
To be fair to Trump, I think he's a very transactional president who doesn't tend to focus as much on morality as previous ones. But David, I wanted to ask you, do you think that something has changed in the American-Israel axis? There's some people, very obviously Trump did not go to Israel this time. There is now this sign of other Western powers putting pressure on Israel about Gaza. Do you think something has changed at all?
It's hard to say. There may be something that has changed a bit. The challenge that I've always seen, and again as a former military commander who conducted a comprehensive civil military counterinsurgency campaign in Iraq and somewhat similar in Afghanistan, has been that the strategy that Israel has pursued has not actually achieved their three stated objectives: destroy Hamas, prevent Hamas from governing again, and get the hostages back. Each of those has been only partially achieved. But moreover, that there should be a fourth objective that their military should be trying to achieve as well, which is to provide a better future for the Palestinian people in Gaza without Hamas in their lives. In essence, this is what we set out to do in major urban areas of Iraq that al-Qaeda had taken over. And by the way, Hamas is an Islamist extremist organization. It is not reconcilable by and large. And that was how al-Qaeda was viewed in Iraq. You go into Fallujah, Ramadi, Baku, but we told the people in advance, we want to make your lives better by getting al-Qaeda out of your neighborhoods, out of your lives, and we will then stay and provide security for you with population control measures, biometric ID cards, and rebuilding and restoration of basic services and so forth. And I just don't see that approach here. Clear and leave the way they've been doing, or just pushing populations all over. Hamas is still roughly the same strength they were at the beginning. They're not capable companies, battalions, brigades the way they were. Now they're insurgents. They're guerrillas. And the kind of campaign that is being pursued is not a counterinsurgency. It's more of a counterterrorism where you go in and kill a bunch of bad guys and then leave.
Do you think
so
that
that's
is being-
difficult, and that's why they haven't destroyed Hamas yet. They've degraded them considerably, but they can't destroy them with that strategy. It's why they haven't kept Hamas from being the guys with the most guns, which gives you governance to the degree that there is any in Gaza. And, of course, the final hostages, there will be really tough conditions for Israel to accept, some of which I don't think they should accept, such as ever leaving the control of the border between southern Gaza and Egypt, under which, in tunnels and through which, and the Rafah crossing, so much of the materiel and so forth that allowed Hamas to create this incredible subterranean architecture and capability.
Do you think the underlying problem is because that has been a Netanyahu strategy rather than an Israeli military strategy of the people you know well?
I do believe that, and I had long conversations with Yoav Gallant, and I think one of the principal reasons he was probably replaced is that he kept asking, what is the political end state that we're trying to seek? What will it look like? What do you want it to look like? And he's never got an answer, nor have we.
Can I jump in,
very
John, on
quickly,
this?
and then we'll jump to Ukraine.
Sure. This is not, we're in military operations, but the objective is political.
Yes.
The Israelis do not want to withdraw from Gaza under any circumstances. They do not want to withdraw from the West Bank under any circumstance. No matter how efficient your military can be, and I, of course, cannot at all challenge what the general is saying militarily, there will be resistance to occupation. So what really is required here, there has to be a clear, concrete commitment to ending the conflict and how, and we can negotiate the steps to get there. But unless Ayalon, the former head of Shin Bet, was on television recently, and he was asked, what's your response to October 7th? He said, I condemn Hamas, and my response is a two-state solution. And he was asked, are you rewarding Hamas? He said, no, I'm securing Israel. We don't trust each other, and they want a state, and we want a state.